Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Clone Hero Podcast. It is your host, Garrythemod, along with ZeroHearts, and today we will be doing a podcast with two of our guests today, which is Darkly, if I do remember correctly. His Twitch username is DarklyInDarknessGH, and we have Gamo here, who is a WellDoneShellFish on Twitch and YouTube, if I'm not mistaken.
True.
Alright, so, so Darkly, Darkly, do you want to introduce yourself? And then we'll do the same for Gamo.
Well, my name is Kai. I'm 18 years old. I've been playing GH for, 10 years. Basically since the release of GH3. I'm, totally unknown. I'm, one of the worst players on Earth. Don't bother.
Yeah, you'll find out later that he's completely lying to you. He's pretty good. And, Gamo?
I WellDoneShellFish. That's what I go by now. I used to go by Gaming Freak 3, Alias of Aliens, Turnips Are Abysmal, and a lot of other names. I have been playing Guitar Hero for a very long time, and don't watch my videos because they're shitty.
all of his videos are FCs. And Zero.
Hi.
Hi.
Perfect.
I'm
Absolutely here. Perfect.
Hi, how
Yes,
are ya?
Zero is here. So, just to get around all of what you're going to expect for this podcast, we're going to talk about song FCs, particular ones that were, well, supposed to be impossible, but then after, Darkly decides, hey, do you know what'll be cool? I'm going to go FC Soulless too. Oh, guess what? He did. He FC'd Soulless too. That's no big deal, right?
And the betrayal yesterday.
And the betrayal yesterday. So, Darkly, what made you want to FC Soulless 2? Like, in all honesty, why would you bother doing that?
Why would I bother doing that?
Yeah.
It was mainly because of the race with Alec and Randy going on. I just decided to intervene. I didn't think I'd actually get anywhere. And then after sorry I interrupted you there, but basically what happened was I reverse choked Murderous on Alec's stream. There's a clip of that somewhere. I need to find the link for it, but that was the most hilarious thing that's probably ever happened on Alec's stream, ever.
Yeah, that moment where he just FC'd the impossible strums and you're like, oh, wait, hold on, this is possible now. So, was that moment where Alec got the murderous reverse choke, was that the moment where you decided, hey, I'm gonna go for this FC?
Well, I had been going for Soulless 2, on and off. Gamo
It's cool,
disconnected.
keep going.
So, basically what happened was, I had been going for Soulless 2 completely on and off. It was a grind that I wanted to bother with, but at the same time I sort of didn't. But what happened was, after I, reverse choked Murders, I just decided to go full out on it. I played for, maybe an hour the next day, and I got it.
That's pretty impressive. You want to explain what reverse choke means?
Basically, you miss before the hard part of the song. But, technically, all parts of Soulless 2 are really hard, because an FC up to Murderous is pretty insane in itself. You'd have to be a really skilled player to even consider doing that. Let alone getting past that.
Yeah, and in fact, it's just that Soulless 2 has been around for, so long. It's like one of those customs that have just been around for so long that are just insane, and then it got FC'd as really not soon after the Murderous got hit, as I like to call them, the impossible strums.
I think it took 5 years from the point Murderous got FC'd by Blue the first time. I'm not too sure. Maybe 5.5, but all I know is that it's been 8.5 years since Soulless 2 has been released. And we're at this point today.
Yeah, which is a very, very long-ass time.
And
well, you decide to get the FC. Did you... How long did it take you of a grind to get it, just constantly playing it? Or was it just on and off?
Constantly. Well, I went for it constantly at one point, but it wasn't that long. Maybe, 2 weeks until I decided to give up on it. Because I realized I could probably never get to Murderous in my life, which I was completely wrong about, a year after that. But with Soulless 2, it's basically always going to be an on and off grind. You're gonna want to give up at some point.
Yeah, it's
will never
the
be a
same with
consistent
any
grind.
other song, isn't it?
Of course. Like, for example, the Betrayal, which I FC'd, like, a few hours ago. Like, that is something that wears you the fuck down.
You want to explain why the Betrayal is just such of a hard FC?
Strumming. Constant 24 NPS strumming. Which is, like,
NPS
even
is notes per
harder
second, just
to
in case.
rake. Yeah, like, notes per second, yes. Like, it's just so constant for, 3 minutes straight, I think it is, and nerves. Nerves will get to you.
Honestly, nerves in any FC will get to you straight away, especially when especially when you're doing one of these like Soulless songs or whatever.
Yeah, of course. I've said this multiple times. I almost missed due to nerves in the outro of Soulless too.
Yeah, but you didn't, and then you got it, which is honestly quite an impressive thing.
Thank you.
Not only did you get it, you got a payout for it.
Oh yeah, I did. I got a payout from Matt Way for $125 Australian.
And that was because he said no one's going to FC Soulless 2, right?
Yeah, I think he put a bounty of 100 US on it.
And went through with it, so props to him.
I also got another 30 from I think his YouTube name is I Love Barracuda, but he's changed it so many fucking times I don't know at this point.
Jesse
man.
Like, he's a really good rock band drummer too. Like, check him out.
Shout out to him in that case, and man, I wouldn't have changed that YouTube username. That was sick, dog. And Gamo, the reason that you're here as well is because you FC'd Pangaea. Now, I don't know too much about the history behind the Pangaea FC, so can you sort of explain it?
It's a song I started playing circa early 2016. It was, I think, when I just came back and I was new to Guitar Hero 3 Plus because I actually had a 2-year hiatus period between 2014 and 2016. So I didn't really jump aboard the whole Guitar Hero 3 Plus thing like a lot of other people did when it started sometime in 2015. So I wasn't in the crowd that was just grinding Soulless 4 to oblivion right off the bat. So I think Pangaea was really one of my first experiences with Guitar Hero 3 Plus, and I actually got a -1 of it an entire year before I got the FC. Circa, I think that was like early 2016. It should have been, and that predated the Clone Hero era. So by that point.
Oh God.
The reason that we said oh God is because Gamo's microphone went to hell. We'll just skip through this regularly scheduled podcast back in 3, 2, 1.
So you want to talk about Pangaea again?
Oh yeah, okay. The reason I FC'd it was mainly because Guitar Hero friend of mine who goes by Hyperbola CH now said that he would pay me $100 if he saw anyone FC it. So I was actually just not going to bother with it, but after I heard that, I just thought, oh, that sounds like a free $100 for me, pretty much. So
damn, dude.
So that's why that happened.
No, and you know I'm gonna do this like FC of a really hard song, so for $100.
Yeah.
Did he pay up in the end or?
Yeah, he did.
Ah, good man, good man.
How long did the grind take
God.
you, though?
If he didn't, I would have kicked his ass.
Yeah, how long did the grind take?
Like a week on and off. I wasn't really going for it relentlessly, so I think it took a fairly reasonable amount of time. Also, shout out to Frosted, who a week later got it too.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. You think it was that you proved that it could be done that kind of got him to go through and push to actually do it himself?
Yeah, that's a common thing to happen. I think when the ice is broken, usually FCing something that everyone thought was impossible is a lot more viable. Like when Darkly FC'd Soulless 2, I actually tried tried practicing it and I got Murderous Solo like 8 times, so I don't usually do that. I don't know.
It's weird how even...
I guess it just has to do with this placebo effect, almost.
Yeah, it's weird how, like, even a couple months ago, you're like, nah, Soulless 2's never being FC, no one's hitting Murderous, and then after one person hits Murderous, and you're like, actually, let's do this, and then everybody else of, like, the very high-tier players just hits Murderous, and you're like, well, I mean, it kind of feels like a domino effect. One person gets it, and everybody else is gonna get it.
Yeah, kind of like when Toby passed Ubersong for the first time. But I think, like, maybe a week later, Stepmania 40 did it, and then, like, and it became this placebo effect, as you're talking about, or the domino effect. Like, everybody started passing Ubersong, and I don't know who was the, third person to do it. Do you know, Gamo?
The third person to pass Ubersong. If I recall correctly, it may have been Leaf, honestly.
Maybe Alec? I think he did it at one point, actually.
Yeah, Alec definitely did it. It probably was Alec, yeah.
It's interesting to see, because, like, I know this is basically the same thing, like, what happened with Jordan. If anybody watched the podcast we did with Hell Ashes, it's like, everybody's like, no, Jordan will never get FC'd, it's impossible, and then people started learning about two-hand tapping and all that, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he FC'd it, everybody in the whole fucking world FC'd it.
Yep. Including me.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And Megapeng like one-handed, which is absolutely fucking insane.
That's scary.
I've done it like 12 times in a row.
That's terrifying.
Gamo's a very terrifying man when it comes to the GH2 engine.
Yeah.
So just to keep up the audience up to date, right now what we're doing is talking about the sort of like impossible songs to FC and why, and just that they got FC'd and how. You guys want to just talk about why these songs are considered to be impossible? Like the technicality behind them?
It might have been skill level at the time and people not wanting to grind them. Like, as you said with Jordan, like, people didn't know how to two-hand tap at the time. Like, that shit was basically fucking unknown.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knew about two-hand tapping.
Yeah.
But when people learned about it, more and more people started wanting to grind it. And then Hell Ashes got it first, and then everybody else started seeing it.
Yeah, and there was one point when Microgamer just gave everyone the big epiphany that tapping is something you can do.
We actually got him.
Exactly.
We actually got him in the server, so we'll have him on a podcast hopefully soon enough.
Oh, cool. He can talk about how he is the reason tapping started becoming a concept, pretty much. And it always seems like, just going back to the whole Impossible Songs thing, it always seems like that has a shelf life. I mean, for instance, when Guitar Hero 3 was released, there were people that saw one fast solo way, which tons of people can hit now, obviously. And they said, if anyone ever hits this, I will give you $500. Or when Through the Fire and the Flames came out, I think there were people that were just they were just boycotting Activision or whatever, saying this is this is too much.
And then I Am Chris for Life came along and fucked that all up.
He was just like, nah, you see this? This is easy. I'm gonna FC it.
Yeah, I Am Chris for Life. Truly a swinger. He's the best. He's the best DDR player nowadays. The best DDR in the groove player.
It's funny how things change like that. That's pretty funny. So do you just feel like getting these FCs is just another stepping stone for the community? Like as Zero said, Jordan's never going to be FC'd. It got FC'd. Then people thought that Flames was never going to be FC'd. Then it got FC'd. Darkly, people never thought that OGAP LB4 was going to be FC'd because the solo was insane. But then you proved that wrong. So do you just feel like getting full combos of these songs is just another stepping stone for the community?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. I think it's just a matter of someone having the determination to achieve it. Really, a lot of the time, whenever I say that something can't be FC'd, it's because I just don't think it will be FC'd. Soulless 4, for instance, I mean, I know it's becoming a conversation. Everyone's saying that's not going to happen. It's not that it can't happen. It can definitely happen. It's just that no one is going to say.
People don't want to waste their time.
Yeah, 15 minutes of pure FL Studio anguish.
In the words of Alec himself, Soulless 4 can be FC'd, but no one's gonna sit down to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd love to see someone try.
Yeah, I could see someone...
Oh, definitely. I'd love to see a Soulless 4 FC.
Well, of course. But the thing is, getting up to Breaker Solo is, like, way too hard in itself. And not to mention all the other shit that comes after it, like Solo of a Robot, like... What's that other solo with, like, the weird trills?
Enlightened Solo,
I'm forgetting the name. Yep, thank you. Like, getting past that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll give you $100. Straight up.
Okay.
If you do it, I'll give you $100.
The bounty's up to $200
Darkly
now
will
because
give you
Alex said that.
$100 if you FC Soulless 4.
No, I said I'll give you $100 if you FC up to fucking Enlightened. I don't care about the FC. If you get up to Enlightened, I'll give you $100.
Yeah, I mean, how could you FC? How could you hit that green, red, yellow, blue chord in Breaker Solo with your combo not having been broken previously, and then hit Enlightened Solo A? You would have a panic attack. You would be in disbelief.
Well, of course, and that's exactly what happened with me and Soulless too. Like, I almost missed at the outro due to nerves, and that shit is pretty much considered easy if you're like, oh, I'm just playing this for fun, I don't really care.
Oh yeah, and with Pangaea too. I couldn't feel my hands after Solo 18. I was just so used to the FC grind feeling like climbing the never-ending staircase in Super Mario 64. So I just couldn't believe that.
We did bring up OGAP earlier. I remember when George was doing that on his stream, that song gave me nightmares because of how much he just could not FC that one part of the solo. How the hell did you do it, Darkly?
The trills?
I don't even remember.
Not the trills. The point where you anchor the red, but then there's yellow, blue, and orange that play very sporadically.
One-handing and luck. Because Rock Band 4 is engineerable, and Harmonix should be ashamed of themselves.
I mean,
I have to totally agree with that.
You gotta love when you go into practice mode and then the calibration goes off because you restart and want to FC something.
Yep.
So, do you feel that, like, the OGAP FC, that run, was it pure luck in that case?
Yes and no. Because I was somewhat consistent at that. But not really, like, it's just a complete luck train. Well, in that case, it is luck, but, I don't know, maybe it's one-handing consistency, too? Like, there's just no way to alt-tap that shit on Rock Band 4, and I don't know how George did it. He's a legend for doing that. Like, that Rock Band 4 engine is just so inconsistent at points, and it's only been getting worse with the updates that they've been doing to the game.
Well, there is too much that I can say about Rock Band 4. I could dedicate like 2 podcast episodes to it, so I'm not gonna get involved.
I join you on that one.
So we talked about how we feel like Soulless 4 isn't gonna get FC'd because no one's gonna sit down for a pure 15 minutes of hell. So, do you feel like the grinds in the end are really worth it?
Yes and no, because good scores can come out of it. Like, Randy's score can be beaten. I don't think anybody's denying that. Well, maybe some people are, but I believe for a fact it can be beaten. And if someone pulls off a good enough run of Soulless 4 with these grinds,
yeah, and
it'll
purportedly
happen. No
no one has FC past Machinations
A,
and I can say right now I could probably do that because I usually hit Machinations A on Guitar Hero 3 PC, not on Clone Hero. I don't know how like Danny can just
not on Clone Hero.
FC that casually in a regular run on Clone Hero. I don't know how he does that because it has this weird Hopo registry thing, but on Guitar Hero 3 PC, an FC past Machinations A is definitely doable.
It's just a matter of getting down to it and trying to FC it.
Yeah.
And also, well, if you're a higher class player, this doesn't really too much apply to you. But if you're like sort of still newish and still growing, you have to learn the patterns to it.
Yeah.
So you got to get the muscle memory down for it and all of that.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of learning Quince. I think I'm terrible in that aspect.
Speaking of which, Gamo, do you want to talk about Guitar Hero and muscle memory? And like basically how to get FCs is
I
almost
I think
just muscle
Mega
memory.
Thing is a good example of that too, because he almost in every case would FC this ridiculous FL Studio song
Yeah, for sure.
with 38 notes per second patterns, and I mean it's not because he can just read into those patterns like Rain Man the instant that he sees them. It's because he sits down and he breaks them down, and I'm sure Darkly has had that experience many times. I have the same experience. Everyone that FCs these ridiculous FL Studio songs just breaks them down at slower speeds and then speeds them up, and then they're able to get a perfect run on them. And anyone can do that, really.
Well, of course. Isn't that how Jordan happened?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Isn't that how one happened?
Isn't
that how
Flames
Flames happened?
Very muscle memory driven too.
Probably.
I mean, that's how Morandi got a blindfolded FC of it.
Yeah.
That is very true. Yeah.
Even if it's not slowing stuff down, hell, Gamo, you FC'd something last night that I know caused a couple people to kind of lose their shit on your stream.
Yeah, there was this Sean Lane
what song was that? Was that from
JP
Anti-Hero?
wanted me to play, and I FC'd its sight read, and he was saying it's really crazy. So that was...
Yeah, he was losing his shit when we were talking. It was hilarious.
Oh, a sight read is a run.
You want to explain what a sight read is?
I've never actually seen the chart at any point, but you're just reading it as you go along.
Want to explain how you FC the really hard shot on a sight read?
I think that's that's muscle memory driven too. Since if you've been playing the game for a long time, you kind of learn to recognize certain patterns, even one-handing them, really, and that's how it's sometimes viable to FC stuff like that sight read. And as for the
Also luck.
Yeah, it is.
But luck is a major factor into it.
Since it's so easy for things to go awry. It's like going for some of these songs is like defusing a bomb sometimes.
Also, in my mind, I believe you'd have to be a good one-hander
for
sight read, so maybe that factors into it too.
And for those that are listening and don't know what one-handing is, it's just when you don't bring up your right hand, or if
you just hit everything with your left hand
to hit the notes.
Yeah. If you think it's easy, it's really not. It requires a lot of stamina.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this right now. You can try it, but your hand will get tired very quickly.
Yeah, I agree to that.
I do know that one of my pals, BC Richard, he's a really, really good one-hander.
I think he's one of the best in the community.
Yeah, I could see him
for one-handing for
FCing
sure. I'd
Surfing
have to
with the
agree on that
Alien
one.
One-handed one day.
He actually did the whole solo 1A, solo 2A one-handed. Oh god.
God damn it, Gamo, fix your mic up properly for next time. Thanks, Kappa. Podcast back up in 3, 2, 1.
Gamo had to head out because of some stuff, but I do have to agree with him that he could probably FC surfing with the Alien with one hand. You'd agree with that one, Darkly, right?
Oh, of course. Of course.
I know that's... People are probably saying that, how can people do this? It's with years of practice, isn't it? It's like, as you said, Darkly, you've played the game for 10 years?
Yes. Around that.
Yeah, around that. So basically, as we said before, even on Alec and Randy's podcast with Yukog and Jaden as well, these guys have been playing this game for 10, 12 years, 12 years most, since GH1 even. And,
I believe Alec's been playing since GH1.
Yeah, he has. He told us on the other podcast.
Well, there you go.
And
that game is very broken in general.
Yes, it is very broken, and they just know the patterns. They know how to do the things, and for all of the new players that we have in here, they feel like they're not doing it as good as they want to do. I'm just gonna say this again. Yukog started playing on easy mode, and Jaden started playing on DualShock mode. That's just how you work.
And I failed on easy at one point. Like, everybody can get better. It's just the grind and determination. Like,
yeah, and the thing is with like Guitar Hero as well is that you get to play good music out of it.
Yeah, of course. I would have never found out about bands like Flesh God Apocalypse if it weren't for Guitar Hero. Straight up.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that people wouldn't even find out about like Dragon Force if it wasn't for.
Oh no, that's a point that can't be argued. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's nobody would have known of Dragon Force if it wasn't for GH3.
Well, maybe some hipsters, but you know.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be as popular as they are now.
Oh, of course.
I mean, they're popular enough to try and play Guitar Hero and also be not good at Guitar Hero.
Yeah, well, real guitar and plastic guitar, it's two very different things.
This is true.
I mean, one guitar has like 24 frets and 5 to 6 different strings, while the other one is just like just 5 frets.
Just something, just buttons. You can figure out how to hit them. It's fine.
It's just to the people like listening to this. You'll figure out how to hit them soon enough. Just keep playing.
Oh, of course.
It's a bunch of colorful buttons, and once you'll be able to, one very good thing that you will find out if you are progressing is that if you just hit a pattern by just sort of like sweep a thing without even thinking about it, you know you're doing improvements.
Yeah, players will always improve. Like, that's no issue. That can't be debated, like, whatsoever. If you keep playing, you will improve. Keep going with what you're doing. You will improve. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is 100% true. Even the best players today are still improving.
Come to the Darkly seal of approval.
I'm not even that good of a player. What are you talking about?
Motivational message for you guys.
Playing, like, I don't know what else to tell you. Keep playing and keep practicing the shit you're not good at. You will get good at it eventually.
Yeah, go outside of your comfort zone to hit stupid stuff.
Also, go outside in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Australia,
especially when it's sunny.
then it's scary.
I'm in funny land.
Yeah, funny land.
Funny Australian funny box.
Oh no. So, speaking about players improving, in your eyes, Darkly, what do you think are the next big FCs that are going to come this year? Because we already got Soulless 2 and, like, Pangaea. So, what the hell are we going to get this year?
You Time, You Show, You Universe. So? I think that'll happen this year.
I have no idea what any of those are.
No, it's a song from Carpal Tunnel Hero 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was.
It's from the FU out of 10 tier.
I was thinking that
is the last tier on Carpal Tunnel Hero
2020 or so.
I think it'll happen this year.
It's a long shot, though.
Well, maybe, but, you know, it's totally possible.
Actually,
people said Soulless 2 would happen in 2020, didn't they?
There was a song that we were talking about last night. I don't remember what it was, but we were saying that it's only been community FC'd, or what's the word? Community tech FC'd. Like, I don't remember exactly what that song is, but if it's been community tech FC'd, I would assume
what song are you thinking of?
FC'd in general, right? I honestly don't remember.
Oh.
It was like 3 a.m. and people were saying words I never heard of before. It was a crazy time. But I'm like, it's just the whole point of if a community can tech FC a song, one person could full FC it.
Is the song you're thinking of?
Yes, I think that's it.
Yeah,
okay, well, no.
I don't think it will
that
ever
can
happen, honestly.
But
Not
nobody
because
will bother.
It can't be done, because
absolutely
of course it can be done. It's just that's like what we were saying about Soulless 4, that applies to Crisis City VGH tenfold. It's just pure throwing notes that no one wants to see on their screen issue for.
If any of you guys listening don't understand what these songs are, if you have a bag of Skittles, for an example, open up that bag of Skittles and throw it on the table. You'll understand what the songs are then. Go to a Skittles factory and you'll find out what they mean by these songs. Though it's basically the note pattern is the Skittles on the counter that you
just
see.
Go to a Skittles factory, pour them all on the floor. Stop manufacturing them. Just pour them on the floor to see Crisis City VGH.
Or basically any of those songs that we've talked about. Just take a bag of Skittles, or go to Skittles Factory, throw them on the floor, and that's the notes.
Okay, but going back to talking about Crisis City seriously now, there's a choke spot after Crisis City, or I think it's Crisis Solo, I'm not too sure what the sections are named, but the solo, like Solo 4, I think it is, like, Crisis Build-Up. That's a choke spot for sure, and I think somebody's going to miss there if they get past Solo 4.
There's plenty of stuff
will
after
be spaghetti
Solo 4
by that
that
point.
you just cannot hit if your hands are spaghetti. There's just, you don't have a chance.
I'm still waiting for one really big community thing that really needs to happen so we can put the nail in the coffin for Dragon Force. When is Through the Fire and Flames 150 GH Guitar Free Shot happening?
Oh boy.
That is one that I want to be FC'd, or full combo, just in case. Just so we can put the nail in the coffin for Dragon Force and never have to play that song ever again.
Well, I have wanted to grind it. Like, that's something that has been on my mind for a while. But my issue with it is Bridge 1. And also, Herman Solo 2 at 150. That's a complete piss take. So is Wata in a way, but Twin Solo especially. Also almost there,
pretty much
because that is a
notes
major choke spot
awful.
even in normal speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything that looks like a Skittles Factory.
Going back to which songs are probably going to be FC'd this year, I've recently come really close to what Inhumane Effort sounds like, and there are 2 people that say they will pay me $50 if I FC that, so I'll probably get that.
So you get another $300. Good shit, man.
Hell yeah.
I've been considering Epidox as well. Like, that's not out of the question. Because I recently uploaded a video that, I FC'd, like, what was the section? Oh, fucking Robotic Build-Up, like, 11 times? In a half-hour grind?
I was thinking about going
so
for that.
So it's not out of the question.
Drew made a wager to give someone $100, but once I saw that video, when you posted it, I just said, you know what, that's Darkly's money, never mind.
From this podcast, I'm like determined that, wait, hold on, all of these big FCs only happening because you guys get money out of it?
Like...
Yeah.
Everyone's throwing money around for songs to be FC'd.
Bounties, dude.
Yeah, basically, it's Guitar Hero
Bounties,
guys. This 2018 is the year of the bounties.
We need like a list of just all the songs.
I'm coming to take your shit.
That they're gonna pay, and just like list them up and be like, "Oh, check this one off the list. That one's done." I mean, or we could just be like on Alex's stream when the one guy's like, "I'll give you 2 1080s and $2,000 if you FC this song," and then he did. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't say it. I have $2.
$1,000 and 2 1080s."
Well, good luck, gifting someone 2 1080 Ti's. What was it? Just 2 1080s or Ti's? I don't know.
2 1080s and $1,000.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, and then he had $2.
Yeah. Good luck.
He never paid up.
That was pretty great.
Good luck in this day and age, especially with the fucking crypto mining shit going on.
Oh yeah.
Good luck.
Guys, I'm just telling you, especially with like people like Alec, SI, and Randy, don't dare them to FC something with money, because they will.
They will.
They will. And if you don't pay up, you are not a good sport.
Might make bad wagers when it comes to that too. I mean, for instance, recently someone said they would pay me $30 or anyone that FC got the technical FC of paying her at 110% speed, and I got it in 15 minutes.
Must you be a madman all the time? Like, take
For
a
those
break,
that don't
man.
know
like
what
your
a
job,
technical
though?
FC is,
That's just his
it's
job
when
at
you
this
FC
point.
every part of the song. As in, it's all usually divided into sections. Well, thanks to Clone Hero, it always is, because if the charter doesn't add sections, then there are these little percentages. But if you FC every section in a song, you have a technical FC of that song.
Yeah. Going back to Soulless 2, I believe Blue was the only one with a tech FC for like, what was it? 2 years, I think, maybe. God, I don't know, but I know it was longer than a year because no one wanted to bother with Murder at the time, let alone the whole song. Blue was the only one that was bothered with Murder solo. God knows how long.
And a few other people FC'd the chords at one point, and that was when everyone started questioning whether Soulless 2 could possibly happen. But even at that point, everyone said the transition from the quads into the chords is never happening. So when Blue actually FC'd the section, that was revolutionary, pretty much.
I mean, like, I think that kind of coming off all of it, even though it's like, oh, well, it's kind of like Bounties and get paid for all of it, I feel like once one of the big songs that is impossible, so to speak, is taken down, everybody just kind of sighs a sigh of relief. I mean, hell, Randy was grinding the shit out of Soulless 2 on Guitar Hero on his streams.
He's grinded both,
was it Soulless 2 or Soulless 4?
Soulless 4.
Okay, well, yeah, like, and it's just, as soon as one person finally FC's one of those hard songs, like, everybody can kind of sigh, take a, like, just relax and be like, okay, maybe I'll FC this in my own time if I want, but
that
I'm
really
not
takes
keep
nerves off, I
this.
would imagine. I couldn't feel my hands when I was hitting the outro of Pangaea, but when Frost got to the outro, he was already just saying, "This is it. You owe me $40."
Is FCing Obsidian considered a fucking community project or what? That's a song you haven't brought up.
Oh god, what is this song?
Obsidian by Exile Lord.
Oh god.
I don't even want to think about it until I see one human on this planet hit message to Blue at full speed, because I haven't seen it done once.
Yeah, it's only been FC'd on slow.
For those that
and
haven't
probably
seen what we're
remain that way
talking
for at
about,
least
it's
a
a section in a song by Exile Lord that literally spells out letters with chords, and no one just hit. Yeah, it spells out "hit more notes" directed
Meme
at
King himself.
Blue after he FC'd Murderous Solo back in the day, and I don't see it being done.
That's just funny.
Well, I don't see that happening anytime soon either, but
yeah, it can
it's
happen.
Not out of the realm of possibility.
Until I see one person hit that one little 2-second section, I don't want to think about a full song FC. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. It says hit all notes in 2 seconds.
Maybe that was a poor estimate. Maybe it's 3 or 4, but it's regardless.
Wow. Okay, that's fast.
Maybe it's 3 or 4, but still, it's fucking ridiculous.
Especially when we're talking about chords.
Yeah, chords are like one of the hardest things to get used to as a novice player. And even then, if you're a pro player, it can still be really hard for you. Especially if the chords are awkward enough. Like, especially after You've Gone, I think it is, like After You've Gone or something like that. From the,
Intense Smoke Hero 2.
I'm forgetting the name of the pack. Thank you.
It was
that song
on
is
FC
awful.
for a few months.
Was it on
I remember Mario Luigi 1994 got it, and
just a few months.
I remember I had already started my hiatus at that point, so I was just lurking around when I saw it, and that I remember I was just gobsmacked by that. That is.
Let's speak of impossible.
Well, I'm sure Matt Way will enjoy the free shout out. Thanks, man. Thanks for the $100. Love you. I'm a fucking.
Let's talk of an impossible song FC that is a song that everyone very well knows, but everyone hates the chart of. Hey Darkly, I hope you're not gonna hit me for this one, but Pulse of the Maggots on Rock Band 3 and 4.
I hit all the sections to that on Rock Band 3. It can happen, but I don't see it being done for a long time. Whoever charted that, what were you thinking, man? I mean, did you want to get off work early or something?
He probably came in on work on a Sunday to make that, okay? He was just one of these guys. He got called in. He was like, yo, we got this song that we want you to chart with, but we only have a day to do it. And he had to come in on a Sunday. He had a burnt coffee taste in his mouth and all that. He was just unhappy. Yeah, he was on hungover from a party last night. He was like, you know what, I'm just gonna... He was even eating some Skittles at the time. He had a bowl of Skittles next to him, and he was just like... And he knocked it over on the floor, and he was like, yeah, that pattern seems good. Yeah, and let's do it. I feel like shit, I gotta go home, I'm gonna upload this, let's go.
And then finding out the song sounds like that. The solos would probably be really hard to figure out, but I think Maze Geek did it.
To be
fair, he recharted the whole thing, and I think it's accurate.
To be fair, it's bad no matter what, because
way too hard to tell.
It's sloppy guitar playing, but
yeah, that song is a little bit of a mess.
it's really not as bad as the Rock Band 3 chart.
It's not that bad.
Oh yes, definitely. Rock Band 3
do you think that the FC is a lot harder since it's just on Rock
people
Band
usually
3's
have
engine?
to double strum if they come up to a hammer-on leading into a strum. So when that stuff is just grouped together, like Play-Doh, as it is with Pulse of the Maggots, it's just absurd.
Yeah, it really is. Like, the same thing is the case with Rock Band 4, too. In fact, I think it's even worse. Because calibration glitch, bad calibration in general, glitchy gameplay.
That makes sense.
You can cut that out, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's fine.
Well, it's just a massive bleep every time Darkly talks about harmonics.
I wouldn't blame you.
Oh, but yeah, no, you grinded it for a while, but you just stopped, and to be honest, I don't blame you.
I never even got close to SCing the solo. Well, maybe a -1 on Rock Band 3 counts, but SCing all that
I
glob,
think that does count.
Like, just in one run, getting past the solo, like, your hands would be jelly. Like, straight up. And then, considering the outro is something
maybe
to
on
take...
Rock Band 4, since it is a little bit
full on,
easier
no, it's not
in
happening,
real runs, but
ever.
then again, there's the calibration glitch that you have to deal with every time you go into practice mode. So really, every time you try to go for that song, you just feel like the world
I don't think
is
they've ever fixed
falling
that
apart.
either. No, shout out to everyone who plays
Rock Band 4
God
once
bless
in
your
my
soul.
life.
Yeah, shout out
I
to
should
everyone who
probably
plays Rock Band 4. I don't know how you guys deal with
God
that,
bless
so
your
just
souls.
like, congrats.
Oh boy.
I played it on PS4. That should tell you
I own
something.
it on PS4.
Ah, no. Well, at least the,
there's
lag
impossible
issues?
calibration.
Like, lag issues, like, actual FPS lag issues are somewhat non-existent on PS4, meanwhile they run rampant on Xbox One to this day. They probably always will, because Harmonix just doesn't care about this game anymore. Don't blame them, honestly.
They actually just released something yesterday.
You should apologize for a lot more than that.
Basically saying that they were apologizing for their shitty online services and all that.
Like,
and we are not going to get sponsored by Harmonix after this.
Oh, good. Whatever. Nobody cares.
Bleep!
Yeah. If you saw the state of Rock Band 4 when it released, I swear to God.
Yeah, and even before that,
you
like
wouldn't want a sponsorship from Harmonix.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad Neversoft took over.
Yeah, but Neversoft's really like their chords.
Uh-huh. Their charts are kind of garbage, too. Like, no
They're just
thanks.
like chords, man. That's all.
They really like chords, man. What's wrong with that?
Man, wait. Is that a single note? Nah, that's three notes. Let's go.
What's that one song
anyway,
with like a ton of chords?
Is it by
it's like a song in a different language, but I can tell it's completely inaccurate.
Du hast?
Oh, I was gonna talk about the song on GH3.
Yeah.
The one that has a chord solo. The switching between. Like...
Oh, Before I Forget by Slipknot.
Yeah, Before I Forget that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good example of how much they like chords.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate, like, at all. Like, what were they thinking?
But yeah, no, shout out to the Rock Band players. So, as I said before when I first started this podcast, this was just going to be a really short one, because I really wanted to just talk about, like, impossible song FCs and such things like that, and then bring up that, like, Soulless 2 got FC'd and all that. But, yeah, I'm really glad that we finally found out that the secret to Bleep Loop charting is a Skittles factory. That is the pure highlight of this podcast.
Yes, I've personally visited a Skittles factory, and I can confirm.
Right, guys, this was your host, Garrythemod, with and ZeroHearts as well.
Yep.
Sayonara.
And the guests today were Darkly.
Sorry, my microphone exploded 17 times.
Never come back.
WellDoneShellFish. Well done, Shellfish, who is Gamo.
See ya.
Alright, we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.